Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Control and Coordination. By now in biology we have covered one concept, and that was about the life processes. So life processes, it was also related to what? It was related to the various concepts or various processes that are taking place in a living organism. So how we can come to know that an organism is a living organism and what sort of changes it reacts to. Okay, so there is a small acronym that can help you in finding out what all are the things which makes an organism a living organism. So I'll tell you, like Mrs. Gren, if you remember this, you will easily find out that what are the various characteristic features which make an organism a living. See, M stands for motion or movement. Okay, R stands for respiration, then S stands for stimuli. Okay, then G stands for growth, R stands for reproduction, E for excretion, and the last one is nutrition. N stands for nutrition. So in previous chapter of biology, you have learned about the circulatory system that will come in movement. Movement of what? All sort of the living and non-living processes that are taking place, in which food is being transported from one place to another, or gaseous exchange is taking place, or some sort of nutrients are moving from one place to another. So we are talking about the invisible movements that are taking place. Then we have learned about respiration. Okay, then you in that chapter of life processes we learned about the excretion and nutrition. Okay, now today what we are going to deal with is stimuli. In this chapter we are going to study about the stimulus, or the whatever is the change taking place in the surroundings around an organism, it reacts to these stimuli or the change. Okay, so we are going to study in detail about this, that what sort of changes are creating or triggering some sort of growth or non-growth movements in the plants. Okay, now let me ask you one question. All living organisms, including plants and animals, do they react or respond to environmental factors or stimuli in same way? Like if I talk about plants and if I talk about animals, let us take an example of light. What do you think so? That plants, they show any change towards the light? Yes, you might have heard about the sunflower, that it always faces towards the light. Or if you have learned in your earlier classes, then the shoot always grows towards the light. Okay, but what do you think? Animals are also growing towards the light. Are we inclined towards the light? Light is a phenomena which is required for us, but not for growth, for vision and all other things, such type of things. So, same way, whatever changes animals are facing and reacting towards them, they are completely different as compared to the plants. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about the same, that how the organism, living organism, we are talking about plants and animals, they show change towards they show some response, or they show some kind of, I should say, that they show the reaction towards the change that is taking place in their surroundings. Okay, so animals have their own way and plants have their own way. Okay, plants, like if I talk about plants and if I talk about animals separately, then you will find that like if we have some sort of reflex action, like if something comes, suddenly a change takes place in our surrounding, we are going to react accordingly. Do you think that plants also will do same? No, they will not. Why? Because of the presence of nervous system in us, in organisms, while in plants it is not there. Okay, so the response will differ accordingly. Fine. So plants do not have the nervous system, but they show change because of the presence of hormones. So today let us continue this concept of, first of all, control and coordination in plants. We are going to discuss about control and coordination in plants. Okay, so we are going to study about them. See, like animals, the plants also have some internal coordination for their growth and development to take place in an orderly manner. Okay, the plants, they have some internal coordination taking place for the growth and development in some particular manner. Okay, but it is not so highly developed as in animals. Okay, it is not as highly developed as in animals. We have a very complicated system as compared to the plants. Okay, it's all because of the requirement, food requirement. We cannot synthesize in our body, but plants can. So that's why the body design is very simple. So now let us take another aspect, like we have to think, we have to analyze, we have to reason, we have to memorize. Do you think plants also have to do all these things? No, they do not have to. Okay, they do not have to think, they have not to analyze, they have not to do any kind of logical reasoning, or they do not have to use any kind of brain or their parts for any kind of process in their body. Okay, instead the plants, they react or they show change or they respond to external, I'm talking about plants. Okay, they respond to some external stimuli like light. Okay, they show response to light, then to touch, then gravitational force. Okay, okay, so these are the some and some more, like water is also there, some chemicals are also there. Okay, so they show growth, they show change, or they show response to these stimuli. Okay, what is stimuli actually? If we are talking about, not, there are two things. For animals we use the another word, and for plants we are using another. Like if I talk about the plants, we will say tropism. Okay, but here these are the factors that are going to create some response in the plants. Okay, so light, you might have seen the plants bend towards the light, the shoot of the plant bends towards the light. If I talk about touch, then very few plants are there which respond to touch also. Okay, then another one, let us see gravitational force again. Okay, so it is that the plants, they show different types of movements in response to various stimuli. Okay, they have different type of response to various stimuli. Like if I talk about touch me not plant, touch me not, chui mui we call it in Hindi, and in this what happens, the sensitive plant has leaves such type that if somebody touches the leaves, they curl inside, they droop down. Okay, so what do you think? This plant is showing growth towards the touch, or it is independent of growth? It's independent of growth. But if I talk about like stimuli of light or stimuli of gravitational force, then it is showing the growth dependent movements are there. Okay, so we are going to study about these stimuli in the plants, and besides that there are some chemical substances which are present in the plants which again induce some sort of growth in the plants, and we call them hormones. Okay? Is it okay? So hormones and what here? The stimuli. Fine. So we are going to discuss about them in this chapter. Okay. Now, how does these hormones, they create or they induce changes in the plants? They affect the growth of the plant, and by changing or by creating some sort of changes inside, and these changes are very slow changes. Fine. So we will start with the plant movements. Now, what kind of plant movements are there? The movements in the plant are of see, there are two types of movements. First movement is independent movements, independent of growth. Second one is the movements due to growth. Movements due to growth. Again I am repeating, there are two types of movement in the plants, and what are they? Movements independent of growth, and the another one is movement dependent or due to growth. So what is the name of them? The first one, movement independent of growth, is known as nestic movements. What do we call them? Nestic movements. Okay. And movements due to growth, they are known as tropic movements. Okay. Tropic movements, or another word you can use is tropism. Fine. So how many types of plant movements are there? Two types. Movements independent of growth called nestic movements, and movements due to growth are known as tropic movements or the tropism. Okay. So today this was about the introduction of the chapter that we have to continue with. So what are the assignments regarding this introduction of the chapter? That you have to tell me. First question is that how you can differentiate an organism is a living, what are the characteristic features? So remember that Mrs. Gren that I told you in the beginning. So you can write that. The second question is that how does plants and animals show same type of response towards the changes that are taking place in their external surroundings? Okay. So do they show the same type of changes, or do they show the same type of response towards the stimuli that is inducing change in them? Okay. And the third one is that how many types of plant movements are there? Name them.